Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. How will New Hampshire benefit from the climate and clear energy provisions in the legislation from Congress? But first, let's look at this report on New Hampshire climate from the University of New Hampshire researchers. They say Granite State is warmer and wetter since the 1970s. The new normal, higher temps and more extreme precipitation. By 2100, 50 to 60 days per year above 90 degrees if greenhouse gas emissions and carbon dioxide aren't reduced. Now, connected to this is this action in the recent New Hampshire legislature with House Bill 172. The New Hampshire House Science, Technology, and Energy Committee voted not to recommend this bill to limit greenhouse gas emissions and establish a clean climate action plan. And as I mentioned, there is an action in Congress, the so-called Inflation Reduction Act. But it has these provisions for climate and clean energy, manufacturing tax credits, consumer and business tax credits, emission grants and loans, research and development, and state support grants and loans. Well, with me to tell us more about this in terms of New Hampshire, how we could benefit, is the former New Hampshire Commissioner of Environmental Services, who is now with the Sheen Finney Law Firm, and also chair of Clean Energy New Hampshire, Tom Burak. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you very much, Fred.
Sam Evans-Brown, Executive Director of Clean Energy New Hampshire, who previously served as lead reporter on energy environment for New Hampshire Public Radio, where he won several awards for that reporting. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you, Fred.
Tom, based on what we know at this point, how could New Hampshire benefit from the climate and clean energy legislation from Congress?
Fred, thank you. There are many ways that New Hampshire will benefit because for the first time ever, this law creates a national energy policy that is focused on transitioning to a clean energy economy, zero and low carbon emission energy sources. There's some $369 billion in tax credits, spending, rebates, and grants in this law. The goal would be to have as much of that as possible come to help us here in New Hampshire for a litany of things. Everything from on the supply side, solar energy, wind energy, battery storage, you name it. On the demand side, electric vehicles, electric heat pumps, other appliances that can make our lives better and reduce our energy costs. These tax credits will be in effect for 10 years, which is going to provide the kind of certainty, predictability, and really stability that the markets need for us to do what this bill is going to provide for us.
Sam, you've reported on the New Hampshire climate and energy issues for some time. How do you see New Hampshire benefiting?
Well, really, what it does is it creates a consumer pull, right? So there's all sorts of technologies that already pay for themselves, but the problem has been many of them are slightly more expensive upfront. So though they may pay for themselves over the life of the investment, a lot of consumers struggle to adopt them because they just see that initial price tag. All of these types of technologies now have tax credits, many of which can be turned into rebates to buy down that upfront cost. And so consumers will suddenly be doing these cost comparisons and see that it's actually just as inexpensive upfront to go with clean energy technology. So things like heat pumps, heat pump hot water heaters, there's rebates even to upgrade your electric service in your house so that you can electrify your heating and cooling demand if you've got old service. And those numbers have been tabulated by various shops. It shows that there's 14 grand on the table for every homeowner who wants to reduce emissions in their home. And the research shops that have looked at this estimate that it'll save the average consumer who takes that step to reduce their emissions, save them between $700 and $1,300 a year on their energy costs.
Greenhouse gas emissions, I believe, we're the only state in New England that does not have limits from the legislature. How do we do that real quick?
So real quick, what we need to do is to recognize that we have tremendous capabilities here in New Hampshire, a long tradition of bringing together the business community, government, nonprofit organizations to find common ground. And what we need to do is we need to send a really strong signal to the markets that New Hampshire wants to lead in this arena, that we want to bring the entrepreneurs, we want to bring the investment to New Hampshire and make New Hampshire really a hotbed of clean energy technology, of clean energy.
My thanks to you, Tom. Tom Burak of Sheen, Finney, Bass & Green Law Firm and Clean Energy New Hampshire, and Sam Evans-Brown of Clean Energy New Hampshire. Thanks a lot. If you missed part of this briefing on clean energy and climate in New Hampshire, you can go to WMUR.com, where it will be posted later today and all this week.